Before he started writing diss tracks about Fiorentino Perez, Sergio Ramos was Real Madrid. Born in Camas, Sevilla, in a modest family, he grew up in a place where bullfighting was the main sport, but he chose a different arena. At 19 years old, he signed for Sevilla, and he was already being called the next Puyol. Sergio Ramos became the first Spanish player that was signed for the Galacticos, 27 million euros for a defender in 2005. It was madness, but Madrid weren't just buying a player, they were buying a pure fighter. His beginnings at Real Madrid were not the best. He started as a right back, very rough around the edges, red cards, reckless tackles, getting destroyed by Ronaldinho. But step by step he became the soul of the defense. And after Casillas left, the captain armband was his. In 2008 he played for Spain as a right back alongside Puyol and Piqué. He was already European champion. And then 2 years later in the World Cup 2010, Sergio Ramos was the main man. He was now world champion. Sergio Ramos was slowly becoming one of the greatest defenders of all time, and that's before La Decima. In 2012 he won the Euro again. Sergio Ramos was on top of the world. Now that he conquered the international level, it was time to conquer everything with Real Madrid. 22 trophies with Real, 5 La Ligas, 4 Champions Leagues. But there was one night that changed everything. 2014, 92nd minute and 48 seconds on the clock. Atletico Madrid were seconds from glory. Then Ramos rose from the earth. A header, history, La Decima was official. The goal that made him immortal, and so he thought. You see, Sergio Ramos wasn't just a defender, he was destiny in boots. The man that showed up in countless finals, the savior of Madrid. But behind the glory was always Fiorentino Perez, the man who gave him everything, and the man who would take it all away. In 2015, Fiorentino Perez broke his rule. Players over 30 years old only got 1-year contracts. But for Ramos, he offered him 5 years. That's how much he meant to him. Manchester City and Manchester United were showing strong interest in Sergio Ramos at that time. Ramos stayed loyal. During that time, Sergio Ramos went on to win 3 more Champions Leagues. Alongside Cristiano Ronaldo, Benzema and Bale, and Zinedine Zidane, they were unstoppable. By the time the contract ended, he was 34 years old. He begged for 2 more years. He even said he would play for free. But Perez was cold. He said no, 1 year. After 16 years, Madrid's captain walked out those doors. Paris Saint-Germain were offering the deal that Perez couldn't. And then after some time at PSG, Sergio Ramos picked up the phone and called Fiorentino and asked to come back. Not once, but twice. For both times, Perez said, "You are too old. I just signed some new young defenders. I don't need you." From Sevilla to Madrid to becoming one of the greatest defenders of all time, Sergio Ramos lifted the Euros, the World Cup, the Champions League, and countless other cups. But he couldn't win his last battle with the President Perez. And so now Sergio Ramos picked up the microphone and he let it all out.